Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. You have an interesting video coming up today. I have made a very thick door in the back of my book with a hidden window or hidden spot behind that door. My first try was a total flop. I did not care for it. And during my live chat this past week on YouTube, someone, I think it was Joe, I can't remember, someone suggested that I do a boo-boo redo. So today we're doing a boo-boo redo, and I ended up putting a transfer on it, and I love it now. It has a little mermaid inside the window, and it has a guy and a dragon coming out of his head on the page on the transfer, which was really fun. And while I was playing with that, Amanda Jane had mentioned that she would like to see a transfer on fabric. So I took the same image, the man's head with the dragon coming out of it, and I put it on my overall dress. Now, if you're a Patreon supporter, you will get this image, the man's head with the dragon coming out of it. You will get that in your grab bag benefit September 1st. That's one of the focal points that I'm going to be sending out PDF to the Patreon members. So thank you. You have something to look forward to there. It's a fun image. And let's see, the Mod Podge on the fabric. Quick little story. I redid the floor in the basement of the house that we used to live in with music sheets and Mod Podge. Did the whole floor in that. Gorgeous, of course. And I was using a lot of Mod Podge, so I put the Mod Podge in a yogurt container, large yogurt container. We eat quite a bit of yogurt here. And so I had taken the yogurt container downstairs into the basement, and I was working on the floor. And when I was done, I started looking around for the lid for the yogurt container, and I couldn't find it. So I thought, well, maybe I didn't bring it down, and I took it into the kitchen, found a new lid, and popped it and closed it, and off we go. And Handsome hubby and I were heading off to dinner, and I was in my overalls dress. This was a few years ago. I've had it for a few years, as you can tell by the patches, because it had this many patches on it to begin with. And anyway, we're walking out the back door, and Rob says to me, what do you have stuck on your bum? And so, of course, I put my hand around and put my hand on my bum, and there was the lid to the Mod Podge, and it was Mod Podge to my bum. So what I can tell you is that Mod Podge never washed out. I ended up covering it with a patch because there was a big circle of Mod Podge on my bum. So we'll see how this transfer on my overalls works with the Mod Podge. I'm going to give it a few days to cure before I pop it into the wash. So, and we wash everything on cold, so I will let you know the results. All right, I think that's all that I have to say this morning on our boo-boo redo transfer altered book. See you on the table. Here are the projects for today. This is the Redo Boo Boo page, and it's a transfer with that nice thick door with the hinges. Very, very fun. And this is an image transfer on my overalls, and I will keep you posted as to how those go through the washing machine. Alright, it's dark o'clock in Vallejo, California, and we're going to work on a secret compartment in the back of the book. We've gone through it a little bit, but I never finished it. So I've taken a couple pages out of here because I like the picture. So I have, I don't know, well, as many as I can use actually. So there's maybe 25 pages, maybe more than that. About 50 pages, I guess. Do I want that many? All right, let's not go that many. Let's go about 25 to 30 pages in the back of the book. I have a piece of paper protecting the very back of the book because I want to put an image there. So I have paper protecting that. Then I'm just going to start gluing these pages together with my Mod Podge and my baby blue brush. The first couple pages are going to be completely glued together for stability. And then after that you can go a few pages in between and glue it. It'll be nice and sturdy, believe me. Oh, such a fragile book. Stay still. Hubby's taking a shower, getting ready for work. Yes, these are amazing images, and no, I can't keep everything. All right, one more page full Mod Podge. And then, if I can get my pages apart, come on, sweetie loves. Then I'm just going to strike down. Each and every time I do a project, it's a little different depending on my mood and my supplies and my time. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Bye-bye. All right, just go through those 25 to 30 pages and just put a slash of Mod Podge on each one until you reach the end. Oh, I have to have that one. Sorry, you gotta come with me. I have my limits. So I've gone about 25 pages. In the last 2 pages, I'm going to fully glue. I want some nice stability on those. I'm going to go around the edge with a generous amount of Mod Podge. That's what's going to hold the pages together more than anything else, is the edge of Mod Podge. And then I have to remove this or it'll all be stuck. I had an envelope in the trash that was nice and close, so I just grabbed that. All right, you'll put some heavy books on this. Keep that nice and flat. We cannot sit on this book. A, it's too fragile. B, it's too full. So I'm just going to put some heavy books on here and let that dry. All right, this is the image that I want to be able to see inside the secret compartment. So she's going to go on the back eventually, but I want the door to be about that big, by about that big. So, and I think I might put it off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to put my cutting mat underneath these dried pages. They're almost dry. These are the ones that we glued together. And ruler and my X-Acto. So yeah, we're just going to go for it. She's not going to be off to the side. She's going to be pretty much center. Maybe. We'll see. So I'm just going to cut through all of those pages, keeping the back of the book protected with my cutting mat. And you know I am very precise about this. The sun's coming up. Oop, just eyeballing it. This little boo-boo there, I'm okay with that. We're going to have it covered. Not a problem. So just keep cutting until you make it to the back of the book, okay? And here again, be kind to yourself and give yourself a new blade whenever you want it, whenever you need it. The blades are not that expensive, and a new blade will make your life so much easier. Almost there. But I'm going to take this out. He's beautiful. I'm going to just round the corner on two sides. I'd use my corner cutter, but he's too fat. So we'll just make our own round corners. Ha ha. All right, you're out of here. And there was a, here we go. I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper. Clean those edges up a little bit. Bring my mermaid in. See where she's going to go. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and glue her down with some Mod Podge. Putting Mod Podge over the entire back cover of the book. This little book will be so glad to have it more stable back there. Oh my goodness. Poor little thing. It's hung in there fine. We're going to make it. Okay. Place her where I think I want her. we're going to call that a yes. Apply some Mod Podge on her. Close that book. I'm going to take a page from here, if possible. And I am going to cover up all of our boo-boos. All of those rough edges. Put some Mod Podge in around that secret compartment there so that those stick together well. It's nice and juicy with Mod Podge. Almost put that in my coffee. Wouldn't be the first or the last time. I'm going to lay that page down. Put a protective page on it. I'll use that envelope out of the trash. And I'll put some heavy books on that because I can't bum art this. No way. I'll put some heavy books on there to hold that down. Alright, so I have 2 hinges and 8 screws. That's all you need. I think I said something else in another video. Yeah, you only need 4 per hinge. And I'm going to make a dot there. And a dot here. And I'm just going to make a starter hole with my drill. Just a little starter hole. If you don't have a drill, you can use anything sharp. Like an awl, like an ice pick, anything that'll start that hole for you. Alright, put a hinge down. Put the screw in there. With the tiniest screwdriver you've ever seen, just start screwing that in. I tightened them all the way. And then I'm going to go in on the other side and just snip off those points with my wire cutters. There's not much showing, so not much to snip off. So I'll just put some underpants on the back of that door to hide those little screw caps. Let that dry. What a fun door. Oh my goodness. Alright, now I'm going to go back in here and just break that first layer down. This book is pretty fragile, if you'll remember, so these pages break down very quickly. Do we think that door is even going to fit now? Huh? It's going to be great. Good. All right, I'm going to cover this area with underpants. I don't know which background technique I'm going to use yet, so contemplate on that. Twofer. And just cover that with your underpants. All right, let it dry. Oh my goodness, so we just lost power, so I'm so glad that the sun is up. So here's the door. It's a little bit big, so I've just taken some sandpaper and I've sanded it down to the right size so that it fits right in there. Pretty fun, huh? Okay, so I have the door in place. I'm going to go ahead and make some starter holes. So I have the hinges on, so the door works perfectly. Perfectly a little large. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So when this dries, I will pull these pages off, or I'll do it now. Can't decide. Ha ha. Just to even up the edges. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I don't know, she's pretty gorgeous as is. So we're almost done. I love this background. I am not going to be doing much to it. I'm going to put some underpants, some fun book text underpants on the book, or on the door. Really, really, really do like it. And then this is the other page from the book. So and I'm just going to put that up at the top. Let it dry, take some stability to it. Put a little handle on the door. These are little fasteners, I guess you could call them, that I found before I went to Mexico. They are very, very fun. It's a two-piece. And what I'm going to do is grab my, wonder if I can fit that in my crocodile. I'm going to make a hole in that door with my crocodile. Oh, God, love the crocodile, man. Okay, so I made a hole in the door with my crocodile. I'm going to put this fastener in, put the bottom of the fastener in. I'm going to put this little flower here. Should fit fairly well there, and then the top screw on there, and just screw it down. very cute. Very, very fun. When this dries, I will stabilo it. Not quite dry yet. Nearly there. Look at that though. With those hinges. I'm in love with the hinges. I'm going to take some sandpaper and I'm just going to sand this and rough it up so that everything has something to grab onto. And once again, sandpaper is my friend. Look at there. I got my underpants to show back up. It's nice and grungy. I can live with this. Oh yes, I can. So I'm going to take some ochre watercolor paint, and I am just going to put a nice glaze on this with the ochre watercolor. And I'm going to let that dry. Oh, so much better. Ah, so much better than all of that shiny glitzy stuff. Shall we put a little bit in here too? Let me see. Oh, let's. She has Mod Podge on her, so I don't know how well that'll stick, but we shall see. Okay, let's let that dry and see what's next. I think we have enough light from outside now. So this is the image that I'm going to use. Now, if you're a Patreon member, I'm going to be sending this as one of our altered focal points, September 1st. And what I did is I minimized it to 75% so that it fits on this page better. Scissors, excuse me. Oh, I think I'll rip it. And I'm going to size this down to something that fits better on our page. And I am going to create a transfer out of this guy. He kind of looks like he belongs with the mermaid, don't you think? Alright, so it doesn't quite fit. Almost though, almost. Alright, I got all kinds of sanding stuff on here, which I do not want to get on my transfer. So I will put 3 coats of Mod Podge on this image, drying completely between each coat. So here's evidence that I don't clean my brush because now we have some ochre watercolor in that Mod Podge, which I think that will be fun. So there's our first coat. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to bring my book back in and I am going to put a coat of Mod Podge on this as well because I've torn it up pretty good. And I also have put that watercolor on there. So I'm just sealing everything with some Mod Podge. Alright, I have 3 coats dried in between. I put a 4th coat on so that it's nice and wet. Bring my book back in. Place this guy down where I would like him. Oh, I better take that out. Take the risk of that gluing closed, but we'll deal with that. All right, I've placed the paper down, and what I'm doing is I am really rubbing it down. We have those hinges in there, so we want to make sure and get around the hinges. You can use a credit card or a squeegee or whatever you want to do this. I'm just going to use my fingers for now. Maybe as it dries a little bit, I'll bring the credit card in and burnish it with that. That's a good idea. Really get close in there. I think we'll do that right now. So really push it down. Don't want any bubbles if we can help it. Hinges will probably be a little bit problematic, and I am okay with that. So I'm just going to keep rubbing that down, make sure that that stays down. And I'm just going to start rolling that paper off. This top layer looks like it's going to come off without any water. Which means I have to be careful because it means that the Mod Podge is not quite dry. But being a picker and impatient, can't seem to wait. So I'll just take that top layer off. Okay, it's been about 4 hours. Just going to spritz this with some water and start rolling that paper off. And then I'm just going to continue to roll this off until I have a very clean transfer. So all of this paper will come off. If it's still cloudy, you still have more paper to remove. You can see it break and start to roll off. It takes a minute. Good meditation time. Okay, well, we're making great progress here. You want the paper wet but not too wet, dry but not too dry. You want it just right. I love to use my fingers. People use different things, toothbrushes, and I don't know what else. But I love to use my fingers because I can feel everything. These cloudy areas that you see, a lot of it is the Mod Podge bubbles under there because there was some wavy stuff left over from the sanding, but I am okay with that. So what we need to do now is get rid of this edge. So I'm going to put my ruler down there. We're going to just cut that off at the side of the book. Let's see if I got it. So just go around to all of your edges and remove that extra transfer, the Mod Podge. Okay, so I'm going to go in here in the door and cut that Mod Podge transfer so I can release the door. Think we can get that door open? We're gonna see. Oh, yes we can. Beautiful. What I'd love to do is to go around these hinges and expose the hinges. We're gonna try it. Just be patient. Make sure it's cut. And voila. Yep. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to take this hinge out as well, the covering of the hinge. I just want to expose. All right, this one's going to come up easier, it looks like. Okay, I'm supposed to be fixing dinner. But I found this very fun bottle cap. I was trying to figure out what to do for a handle. And so what we're gonna do is pop a hole in this door. Oh, it's already got the, I forgot. That we already have done all this. So that goes in there. This is what we have to pop a hole in. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm a cornball. Put that there, and then screw this in. Now I'm going to go back in and clean up my transfer a little bit, because it does have a little bit more paper on it than what makes me comfortable. So I will clean that up, and then we will come back and see our door. I'm going to play with a transfer on fabric. You can do it with Citrusolve, but we are doing it with Mod Podge and this fun image, which we've already chatted about. I will be sending this out to the Patreon members September 1st. You may or may not enjoy this, but there are other focal points that I'm sure you'll get a kick out of. So I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on that. This is the first of 3 coats. And set that aside to dry. Okay, the second coat on him, dry. So this is our 3rd coat of Mod Podge. The drying time is the hardest. I want to go forward. Goobers. All right. Let him dry. So the third coat is almost dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here with my X-Acto and I'm going to cut this out. You can of course cut this out before or after. I just find it easier to just slop that Mod Podge on while it's big, and it's pretty easy to cut when it's all plasticky from the Mod Podge. So I'm just going to go around and cut him out. And I'm going to cut him right across here because I have a plan. Yes, I have a plan. Oh, yes, I did cut that all out. Isn't that fun? All right, I'm going to bring my overalls in. I will show you what my intention is. All right, I have a brown paper bag inside my overalls to protect them. And we will put his head here, which is awesome. And then the dragon head there. That is the intention. Pretty fun, huh? All right, so I will put another coat of Mod Podge on this, and another coat of Mod Podge on that, and then I will place them on the top of his ear's not going to work though. Not there. Okay. There you go, buddy. All right, I'm going to put a coat. Oh, it's going to be on this side though, right? Yes. Okay. Coat of Mod Podge. Let's do it. It was really, really easy to cut out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Okie doke. And let's put him down. Smooth that pocket out. All right, I have him on the pocket. Just really, 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 really rub him down. All right, let's put some Mod Podge on the dragon. Making sure he's all covered. And we will bring him in. Line him up to the best of our abilities. I think right there is good. Don't want Mod Podge on the rest of my overalls. I have so many projects going. Oh my goodness. Straighten that out. I'm going to take that bag out of there. It is just causing problems. Out of here. And just rub him down the best you can. Whatever you're using. Need some more Mod Podge under there though. Life is an experiment. art is an experiment. All right, just rub that down the best you can. Rub, 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 rub. Especially around the edges. No Mod Podge on the top of the paper, okay? No Mod Podge here. You'll get a little bit on there, but that's okay. All right, set it aside to dry. Okay, here is our finished project for today in the book. This is the Boo Boo Redo. I'm very happy with it. Yay! It is a transfer. Very, very fun. We also have another finished project. And this is also a transfer. And this is the transfer that I put on my my overalls dress. I clearly need to put some patches on it, but I will do that later. So how is it going to wash? I have no idea. I will let you guys know. There is a little story, I think I probably told it in the introduction about Mod Podge. So we're going to hope for the best on this. So now it's your turn with these things. Same image, okay? So go create, go play, go have fun.